Beyond wealth. The 6 emotional superpowers women secretly crave. In today's dating world, many men mistakenly believe that money is the ultimate magnet for attracting and keeping a woman. While financial stability plays a role, it's not the deepest form of attraction. What truly captivates a woman's heart, often far more than wealth, is emotional leadership. And when understood through the lens of Stoicism and female psychology, we see that women secretly value 6 things far beyond material riches. These are not mere techniques, they're expressions of masculine wisdom, emotional mastery, and grounded presence. Let's break them down one by one, with expert-level insight into why they matter and how to embody them. Calm, controlled energy, warm authority, emotional safety, selective vulnerability, clear boundaries, emotional leadership through conflict. 1. Calm, controlled energy. The emotional superpower of Stoicism. Women are emotional amplifiers. What you feel, they don't just sense, they magnify. If you bring frustration, they reflect back drama. If you bring calm confidence, they reflect back softness and receptivity. This is what the video calls the amplification principle. Most men approach conflict with logic and control, but they forget that women don't process words, they process tone, emotion, and energy. When you embody stoic calm, grounded, unshakable, warm but firm, you become the emotional anchor in the storm. Why women love it more than money? Because money can't protect them emotionally. But a man who doesn't escalate, doesn't overreact, and doesn't lose control, even in chaos, makes her feel safe. And safety is the deepest form of feminine arousal. 1. Warm authority, not harsh control. Women don't respond well to anger or cold detachment. But they deeply respect what the speaker calls tone mastery. The ability to correct her behavior with warmth and care, not judgment. Imagine the way a wise father might lovingly correct a child, not with shame, but with guidance. When a man corrects a woman with presence and emotional connection, it creates a paradox. She feels both led and loved. Stoicism teaches us to control how we react, not just what we say. This emotional filtering is the heart of masculine discipline. Why women love it more than money? Because emotional validation and leadership make her feel seen, not scolded. This allows her to relax into her femininity, something money could never do. 1. The gift of emotional safety. One of the core points in the video is that when a woman feels emotionally unsafe, when she senses judgment, coldness, or emotional withdrawal, her nervous system panics. This isn't manipulation, it's biology. She interprets emotional distance as the early signs of abandonment. You can't logic her out of it. You must soothe her nervous system by showing warm presence. This creates what psychologists call emotional safety. To a woman, emotional connection isn't a luxury, it's security. And emotional security is what money tries to buy but fails to deliver. Why women love it more than money? Because with emotional safety, she doesn't have to perform. She gets to be soft, open, and real. Money can't buy her the feeling of being fully accepted and emotionally held. 1. Selective vulnerability, not neediness. Many men confuse vulnerability with weakness. But when used skillfully, vulnerability is a strength. Sharing selective emotional truth, while remaining centered, makes you human and trustworthy. Stoic masculinity isn't about being a robot. It's about showing emotion intentionally, not impulsively. This kind of grounded openness tells her, you're not hiding, you're not performative, and you're not trying to impress. You are who you are, unapologetically. Why women love it more than money? Because vulnerability without desperation shows depth. And women crave emotional depth more than they'll ever crave financial depth. 1. Clear boundaries without emotional punishment. The speaker emphasizes that setting boundaries isn't about yelling, threatening, or withdrawing love. It's about calmly stating your non-negotiables, and following through without emotional heat. This is the essence of stoic masculinity. Detachment from outcome, but full alignment with personal standards. You can stay or leave, but I don't tolerate disrespect, delivered without anger, only truth. Why women love it more than money? Because a man who can say no with clarity, but not cruelty, is trustworthy. She knows where she stands. And clarity in a man creates desire. Mystery and games create anxiety. 1. Emotional leadership through conflict. Most men either avoid conflict or escalate it. The few who transform conflict into connection stand out like rare diamonds. Using tools like the warmth sandwich, kindness, boundary, reassurance. The curious observer, help me understand. The shared problem frame, let's solve this together. Emotional validation, it makes sense you'd feel that way, and future focus, what matters is how we do better next time. A man becomes what the video calls a leader through warmth. He doesn't control her, he guides her. This is high-level masculine energy, calm, curious, warm, and firm. Not afraid of her emotions. Not enslaved by them either. Why women love it more than money? Because conflict becomes intimacy. She doesn't have to guard herself. She feels led, not managed. Loved, not tolerated. This makes her addicted, not to your wallet, but to your emotional presence. The Stoic secret to deep attraction. What the video reveals is profound. The greatest male superpower in relationships is emotional composure. It's not about suppressing emotion, it's about owning it, guiding it, radiating it deliberately, calm in chaos, warmth in disagreement, boundaries without aggression, vulnerability without neediness, leadership without ego. He becomes rare. And in the eyes of a high-value woman, rare is priceless. Money can buy gifts, but presence builds devotion. So the next time you think attraction is about status or stuff, remember this. Women don't fall in love with your lifestyle. They fall in love with your emotional frequency. Master that, and you'll have something far more powerful than money. You'll have her soul.